I got a call from my neighbor at 5:30 a.m. saying my grandma was sitting outside my house. Turns out my parents had dropped her at my place so they could move my younger brother and his family into their house. My phone rang in the dark, and Mr. Pendleton from across the street said, "Honey, I don't want to scare you, but there's an old woman in a nightgown on your front step, and she's been there about an hour, and she says she lives here now." I pulled on sweatpants and ran. Grandma Vivian was sitting on a hard plastic suitcase with her hands folded in her lap like she was waiting for a bus. 78 years old, slippers on her feet, her gray braid undone, 2 trash bags next to her stuffed with sweaters. She looked up at me and smiled like nothing was wrong. "Oh good," she said. "You're awake." I brought her inside. I made her tea. I asked what happened. She said your father drove me here at 4. He said you'd been expecting me. He said this was the plan we all agreed on. I called Mom. She let it ring out. I called Dad. He answered on the 4th ring sounding annoyed. "We were going to tell you," he said. "Donovan and Brielle and the baby need the space. The house is too much for your grandmother anyway. She's at the age where she needs people checking on her constantly. You work from home. It just makes sense." I asked if Grandma had agreed to this. There was a pause. "She'll adjust," he said. "Donovan is my younger brother, 29, 3 kids under 5, never held a job longer than 11 months. His wife Brielle had been hinting about my parents' 4-bedroom colonial since their 2nd baby. Apparently the hinting had worked. I asked Dad where Grandma's things were. He said most of it was in the garage. They'd sort through it later. Some of it they were going to donate because Donovan needed the closet space. I hung up and sat across from Grandma at my kitchen table while she stirred her tea. "I am so sorry," I said. She patted my hand. "Don't be sorry. I knew this was coming. I've known for about 6 months. I just wanted to see how far they'd take it." Then she reached into the pocket of her cardigan and pulled out a folded envelope. "Could you do me a favor today?" she said. "Could you drive me to see a man named Hollis Aberdeen? He's expecting me at 9. I asked who that was. She smiled. "My lawyer." We drove downtown. Mr. Aberdeen was a thin man in his 60s who hugged Grandma the second she walked in. He laid 3 documents on the table. The first was the deed to my parents' house. The owner's name on it was Vivian Lords, my grandmother. The second was a private mortgage agreement dated 1994 between Grandma and my father, in which she had loaned him the full purchase price interest-free, with a single clause on page 2. Residence of the lender shall be maintained in the primary household for the remainder of her natural life. The third was a default notice, already signed, dated that morning. Mr. Aberdeen looked at me kindly. "Your grandmother has been the legal owner of that property for 31 years, he said. "Your father has never paid a cent toward the principal. The agreement specifies that her removal from the residence triggers full repayment within 60 days, or the property reverts." Grandma sipped from a paper cup of water. "I'd like to file today," she said. Around 2 that afternoon, my parents and Donovan came pounding on my door. Dad's face was the color of brick. Donovan was holding the certified letter. "What the hell is this?" Dad said, pushing past me into the living room. Grandma was on my couch with a blanket over her knees, watching a cooking show. She muted the TV. She looked at Dad like he was a stranger who'd wandered in by mistake. Brielle stood in the doorway holding the baby. She started to say something about a misunderstanding. Grandma cut her off. "There's no misunderstanding, dear. I gave your father-in-law a home 31 years ago on the condition I would always have one too. He chose to break that condition. The house is mine again. You have 60 days. Donovan started shouting. Dad sat down hard on my ottoman with his hand pressed flat to his chest. Mom kept saying, "Mama, please. Mama, please." Grandma looked at her own daughter for a long moment. "You watched him drive me out at 4 in the morning," she said quietly, "in my nightgown." She unmuted the TV. They left around 3. Grandma asked if I had any of those vanilla cookies. I did. I brought her the whole sleeve.